Florida Governor Ron DeSantis is criticizing Ambassador Nikki Haley after she received a key endorsement just last night. New Hampshire Republican Governor Sununu announced he's backing her 2024 bid. He said he's, quote, all in on Nikki Haley during an event with the candidate in the Granite State yesterday. In response, Governor DeSantis downplayed the endorsement during a town hall he was holding in Iowa last night.
Here's the problem. Even a campaigner as good as Chris is not going to be able to paper over Nikki being an establishment candidate.
CBS News campaign reporter Taurean Small joins us now from outside there in Des Moines, Iowa, with more on this. I think you were attending the DeSantis town hall just last night, and Haley is on the heels of saying that she loves all the attention during the most recent Republican debate, since everyone was attacking her. But what is the strategy behind DeSantis trying to downplay her endorsement?
Yeah, we saw during that town hall, DeSantis didn't want to make enemies by going after Governor Sununu there. He said that, listen, he's a good campaigner. He's a good guy, says he's willing to go out to bat for him when his reelection time comes around. But he thinks this is just a simple disagreement and who is best for to lead this party forward. Now, we also saw him say that this is a strategy that is different from his top opponent, which is Donald Trump, the current frontrunner in this race. He said, whereas Donald Trump would have insulted Sununu, he's going to take the higher ground here and say that, listen, it's just a difference in opinions. We also saw his campaign agree with that sentiment, saying that they're not too worried about this endorsement. They think a strong showing in Iowa will prove to New Hampshire voters who's the stronger candidate.
And if you look at the trend line in polling, Nikki Haley's support is steadily increasing. Governor DeSantis is doing the opposite, but former President Donald Trump is by far ahead of them both. What then did DeSantis say about Trump during the town hall?
Yeah, he's been, I think, the most aggressive in his criticisms of Trump during this past town hall. Then we've seen him in other very public forums, especially national forums, something that Governor Chris Christie called DeSantis out during the last debate for not going far enough on his criticism or pushback of the former president. He called out the former president's record. He said that if you were to compare the two, DeSantis has been far ahead in leading this American First policies that Trump has often touted. And we also heard that on the trail quite a bit. I followed him around for the past couple of weeks, and he's pulled no punches in talking about the former president and why he thinks he's the better candidate for the job. The tricky line that he has to navigate, though, is persuading Trump-supporting Republicans, especially in Iowa, to pick him as their #1 choice instead of the former president. That's a tough sell.
That's right, because they also have to be careful, these Republicans, that if Trump does end up getting the nomination and perhaps winning, who's going to be part of his cabinet? He'll look back at his former rivals. Now, I know that you've really been logging some miles, also covering Vivek Ramaswamy's campaign events there in Iowa. What's his pitch to voters in the Hawkeye State right now?
Yeah, Ramaswamy is trying to get out to as many places as possible. He told voters yesterday, something that he's been talking about a lot, but I think he really underscored his commitment, partially because he is slipping in the polls, that he wants to do the full Grassley twice. That's getting out to all 99 counties and doing that twice. So you could do the math on that. For me, that means going on the road with him when he does these long stints. But he's facing the same problem as DeSantis, trying to win over those Trump supporters, even more so because he feels like he's in a lane that only him and Trump can dominate.
Well, we appreciate you logging those miles and braving the cold there in Iowa. It's about, 42 degrees. Taurean Small, thank you so much.